Okay, right on. So Chris, yeah, just monitor the participants there, let them into the room if you can, and we'll keep an eye on the chat too. So if you have any questions throughout, just plug them into the chat, or like I said, unmute your mic and just interrupt. We'll be paying attention here and making. Hopefully, we don't miss anybody's participation. So today's webinar is on strategic energy management, continuous improvement with Save on Energy. Um, we're going to talk about what's new at Innova. There's a few things I just want to bring up to your attention about what's going on here. We'll dive into the SEM program with Christy Hodgson, our special guest, and then we'll have some time at the end to have some discussion about what we just learned today. And like I said, feel free to ask questions at any point during the webinar. All right, just to let you know, Innova is the merger of former Waterloo North Hydro and Kitchener-Wilmot Hydro. We basically take on the whole territory north of the 401, which includes the two cities and three townships. So quite much larger. The two utilities combined, we definitely have a vast service territory that we take care of. So what's new with Innova? We actually have a level 3 fast charger now in operation at our head office on Victoria Street in Kitchener. It's a 140 kilowatt opportunity charger. It's got two ports, so you can either go one at 140 or two at 70, or there's a blend of either side there. So if you have an electric vehicle and maybe you need a top up before you're headed out to somewhere north or south, feel free to stop by and charge up. Uh, Price competitively. We're not trying to gouge the market or anything. It's more of just uh, a demonstration project, let's say. So feel free to check it out if you're in the area. Just touch base on power outages here. I know over the Christmas break we did have quite a bit of an ice storm. I think it was some like 5 centimeters of ice accumulation on our lines, and basically what that means is, it adds a lot of weight to our wires, and then the wind picks up and blows it around. Not to mention the trees, branches will then fall onto the lines, which cause a short to happen. And as significant, sophisticated as our system has become over the years with terms of auto closing and being able to detect those faults when they happen, Mother Nature still has her way with us, and we can only do so much. We are improving it. Unfortunately, we can't control animals and motor vehicle accidents or the weather. So we do have an outage map on our website. So if you ever experience an outage and want to know what's going on, we try to keep that up to date as much as possible. But as you can imagine, if there's widespread outages across our territory, it's really hard to stay on top of that. But we are improving and getting better as things go on. And part of that is this debenture of 250 million bucks to help advance our key priorities, such as renewing and expanding our system, and supporting the growth that's coming as people electrify and get off the gas, and then enhancing the reliability and modernization of our grid. So some more smart technology to help us pinpoint those outages and be able to dispatch crews and get you back online in no time or as quickly as possible. And then just a friendly reminder from your friends here at Innova that we do support you, our customers, with all sorts of things. We are your single point of contact with the utilities. So if you don't know who to contact at Innova if you got a question, that's what we're here for. Anything energy or utility related. We're kind of already included in the rates you pay. So think of us as an extension of your team. We're never going to send you an invoice for anything that we do. And primarily, we're focused on helping you find opportunities through energy assessments and help develop some projects to help you save on electricity. The grid is faced with an increased demand and capacity constraints, and I think they said something like 75% by the year 2050. So yeah, we need all hands on deck to help reduce the amount of electricity we're using on the grid. It's the most cost-effective way to build that capacity. So hence why we're back in the game to help you with the Save on Energy program, securing incentives to help you replace equipment with more energy efficient equipment, or in this case, with strategic energy management, more of a holistic approach and then hiring some resources to help you with those goals. So today we're happy to have Christy join us from Goldfin, where she's the Director of Coaching Services. She leads the development and delivery of energy management coaching programs that help organizations embed continuous improvement and sustainability into their operations. With a background spanning energy efficiency, conservation program delivery, and management systems, Christy brings deep experience in coaching teams, building internal capacity, and supporting utilities and large users across Ontario. Today, specifically, she is a she's acting on behalf of the Save on Energy program as a delivery organization for the Strategic Energy Management Program, which we will get into uh, right now. Christy, if you're ready, well, thanks for being here today.
Yes. Let me just share my screen here. I think I can take over.
To be able to, yeah.
There we go. How's that look on your end?
That's good. Thanks.
That's great.
Amazing. Well, thanks for the opportunity to talk with you today. I did have a peek at the group of attendees today, and I'm excited because there's at least one current participant in the SEM program on the line. So hopefully you can chime in with questions and comments as we go along, and that's for the entire group. I have lots to say about strategic energy management, but I'm very happy to stop and answer questions or dive a little deeper into anything that we're talking about today. So with Save on Energy, the Expanded Energy Management Program covers more than just strategic energy management. Today, I'll talk to you a little bit about an EMIS incentive that's for Energy Management Information Systems. It's available for industrial customers. Industrial customers will also include manufacturing facilities and any facility that has a NAICS code that's listed on the Save on Energy Expanded Energy Management website, and we'll provide that link to you so you can check it out. There's also funding for commercial and institutional customers to hire an energy manager. This program is currently fully subscribed for industrial customers. However, the IESO is looking into extending that funding and hopefully offering that again in the near future for industrials, but we'll talk about what the program is like and how commercial and institutional customers can apply. We'll talk about strategic energy management cohorts, and I'll do a bit of a deep dive into strategic energy management as that's the topic for today. And within these programs, you'll see that there is one-on-one coaching support available, training and workshops, as well as peer community support through our programming. There is a QR code. I've put it on a couple of slides in case you didn't get time to snap a photo of that. If you click on the QR code, it will take you to a link where you can set up a very short 15-minute call with a coach to talk about how any of these program offerings might be suitable for your organization. So if you do have follow-up questions, you can use that link. There's also an email address, sem@ieso.ca. This is where all of the applications get submitted, but any questions that you have, you can send an email there as well. All right, the first one I will talk about again is the EMIS incentive. I'll just clarify for any facility in Ontario that has a NAICS code covered by this program that identifies your facility as an industrial facility. That would include manufacturing, that would include municipalities that have water and wastewater facilities and other types of facilities. You can apply for an EMIS incentive. So what does that mean? This supports the implementation of eligible industrial EMIS systems. EMIS must adhere to Natural Resources Canada guidelines for management system. So you have to have some sort of energy management system in place that can be ISO 50001 compliant. It can be 50001 ready. It could be Superior Energy Performance Certified facility or other custom approaches, which would include strategic energy management. This incentive is up to $250,000, depending on the size of facility that you have. So the incentive is not for the entire organization, but based on one facility. Any facility that uses less than 400,000 gigajoules of annual baseline consumption can earn up to $50,000. So the cap is a little lower for smaller facilities. And if you are using over 400,000 gigajoules of annual energy consumption, the cap on that incentive is $250,000. When we talk about gigajoules, this is a multi-fuel program, so we are taking into account electricity consumption and other fuels such as natural gas, diesel, propane, etc. You can combine all those to try and figure out your gigajoule consumption. The reason that this funding is multi-fuel is because it's co-funded through Natural Resources Canada. So it is delivered through the IESO here in Ontario, but co-funded through the GIFIMP program, which is funded by Natural Resources Canada. The funding is also capped at 50% of the total eligible project costs. And what are some of those eligible costs? Well, you can buy hardware, software, and even services to help implement an EMIS at your facility. There are some ineligible costs like financing and in-house labor. All of this is detailed in the application form. We can provide that link shortly. The size of your EMIS can vary depending on the scope of the project that you want to do. For some facilities, that might mean installing basic EMIS to help start to reduce your energy costs and collect data in focused areas of your facility, so sub-meters or loggers for other parameters that are going to help you measure energy performance at your facility. EMIS can be software that connects different systems. For example, your electricity data with, for example, SCADA or other systems in your facility to help you understand and improve energy performance. And EMIS can get even more complex and detailed where you can start to look at whole system or even corporate-wide energy performance using sophisticated EMIS. And this can help with a robust system that will allow you to support your financial forecasting and even create benchmarks, KPIs, and billing forecasting for the future. So lots of good ways to take advantage of the EMIS incentive and different entry points depending on what your facility is interested in. I'll pause there just because I've kind of covered the EMIS program first. We're going to get into the Energy Manager incentive next, but just checking if there were any questions on EMIS.
Just to confirm, I know the first slide made mention of industrial users. Is
Mm-hmm.
everything in this only applicable to industrial users, or are there other applications as well?
Oh, thanks for that question. So for the EMIS only, that is the only one that's only available for industrial customers. Everything else I'm going to talk about today is open to all customers.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Quick question.
Yeah.
You did mention municipal wastewater treatment plant facilities, I believe, as being included in eligible facilities under the EMIS.
Yes.
And what about arenas?
So, I don't know I can't answer that on this call today, but I'm happy to look into that with you. On the Save on Energy website page for the Expanded Energy Management Program, there's a list of eligible NAICS codes. So that's the North American, I'm going to hopefully get this acronym right, North American Industrial Classification Codes, that every facility that is an industrial facility would have a code. So if your arena fits into one of those NAICS codes that's defined on the website, then it may be eligible, yes.
Thank
I
you.
don't think arenas fall into that. I think it's mostly 31, 32, 33 is like manufacturing. I don't think arenas, I think that might be more in like the 53 range, but yeah. But we can look into that for sure.
Mhm.
Uh, Question here, quick, Christy. Is a nonprofit housing provider. Is this information relevant to them, specifically the SEM?
For the SEM and Energy Manager program, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, that is absolutely uh, something that they could qualify for, yes.
Okay, good. Okay,
Super. I will move on. Thank you.
thank you.
The next one I will talk about is the Energy Manager program, where organizations currently commercial and institutional organizations can apply for 50% of the hiring cost to cover an energy manager embedded within your facility. There is a minimum threshold for participation. So organizations that have facilities that consume more than 6,500 megawatt hours annually can be eligible for Energy Manager funding. If you have one facility that meets that threshold, that would be an eligibility criteria. If you have up to 5 facilities that you need to combine to meet that threshold, that is also allowed. Other parts of the Energy Manager funding program are that you are going to commit to employ a full-time energy manager for 12 months. That person will be assigned the responsibility to perform energy manager duties, and those are listed in the application form as Schedule D, and I will provide the links for that as well. Energy manager duties are very similar to what I'll be talking to you about in the SEM program overview, and that's things like building an energy team, monitoring and tracking projects, creating an M&V approach, etc. So we'll get into those details, but the energy manager has to be performing those duties. They have to achieve energy savings by implementing energy conservation measures. They're completing the reporting requirements, which includes submitting an updated energy baseline model, and we have coaching support to help you create those baseline models so you can track performance. And also completing SEM milestones, which we will also go through in detail with the SEM program. A funded energy manager will also be required to obtain their CEM, Certified Energy Manager designation, within the first 12 months, or be an energy manager in training, which means that you've taken the 1-week course and completed the exam that goes along with the CEM designation. Some of the benefits of hiring an energy manager through this program, again, it's that 50% copay opportunity. And we also offer hiring support. So if your organization has never had an energy manager or thinks that there might be any barriers to finding the right candidate or knowing who would be a good fit for the role at your organization, we offer hiring support. And the incentive itself covers the cost of your recruitment expenses, the salary, the benefits cost, any training that they do for that role, and their professional dues, for example, professional engineer or CEM, the Certified Energy Manager professional dues. Those will all be calculated in the total hiring cost to get that 50%. There is a cap for this incentive, so you can earn up to $100,000 of incentive through the Energy Manager funding, meaning at 50% of the cost, the total hiring cost could be a maximum of $200,000. Other benefits are when you join the Energy Manager program, you receive coaching support. So you're going to have periodic check-ins with a coach. They're going to do activities with the Energy Manager and with the organization, including an energy management assessment. I'll go into more detail on that one in just a few minutes. They're going to help develop that M&V approach, whether it's a baseline model or project-based M&V. And you also have the opportunity to have an energy scan at your site. So also known as an energy hunt or an energy treasure hunt. Coaches will come out and help organizations kick off those activities. There is training. So there's asynchronous training available on our learning platform, as well as in-person clinics to help with targeted milestones that you are going to want to achieve in your energy management journey. I'll pause there because I'm going to move on to SEM next, but are there any questions about hiring an energy manager and taking advantage of the energy manager incentive?
Just
Oh,
sorry, Chris, go ahead.
I said there is a question. Is the 6,500 megawatt hour threshold for the energy manager combined fuels or just electricity?
Thank you for that question. So for commercial and institutional organizations, that's going to be strictly electricity threshold for participating in this program.
Perfect.
And
Thanks.
again, you can combine up to 5 sites to reach that threshold. If you're really close or sort of close, give us a shout, and we'll talk to you about whether or not it's still possible to participate. All right. Shall I move on to SEM?
Yep.
Perfect. Strategic energy management is a cohort-based model aimed at building capacity within organizations in support of achieving your energy management goals. So what's involved? With the SEM program, an organization is going to appoint an energy champion. So this is different than hiring an energy manager. There's different requirements than in the Energy Manager program, where often an energy champion is an existing employee, someone who is keen and interested, or maybe has been working ad hoc on some energy management projects, and is now going to move into a slightly more focused role on building that energy management program within your organization. They're also going to secure support from an executive sponsor. We say executive sponsor, and I often get the question, does it have to be a director or the owner of the company? It's not defined as such. It's someone who has authority to oversee the resources and time for an energy champion to form an energy team and perform the activities through the SEM program. In the SEM program, there's also peer group workshops and meetups. We often hear that that's the number one reason why people want to be part of the SEM program, is to feel a little bit less isolated in their energy management journey and meet up with others who are going through the same thing at the same time. There are team activities and milestones that you'll achieve through the SEM program. You'll do measurement and verification planning with your coach, and our team actually does provide the support to build an energy management energy baseline model for your facility. And there's financial incentives when you participate in the SEM program. Some of those benefits in more detail. So in addition to our online platform with asynchronous learning, we also have virtual live workshops on various elements of energy management. And we have those in-person events, which I mentioned, and I'll get a little more into more detail about our SEM clinics, but those are more focused and targeted workshops where you work on a particular milestone. In SEM, you have a dedicated coach for your cohort and for your organization, and that person is going to meet with your energy champion one-on-one to monitor progress and help you overcome any barriers that you're facing. There's also that peer learning group, and so we facilitate meetups every couple of months so that the energy champions can get together and talk on common trends that are happening in their particular sector industry, or things that have come up in the SEM program that everyone wants to work on together. And then the performance incentives are offered in 2 tracks as part of the SEM program. This is separate from the EMIS incentive. It's separate from the Energy Manager incentive. The SEM program offers a performance incentive. It's paid out at 2 cents per kilowatt hour, measured on your cumulative sum of savings at the end of every 12-month period. And that can be up to $100,000 of performance incentives if you are demonstrating those improved savings. Eligible measures for the performance incentive are any savings that weren't incented by another program. So whether or not you did swap out of a piece of equipment or a behavioral campaign or an operational measure, sometimes those are a little bit more difficult to measure on an individual project basis or get a retrofit incentive for example. Those would all be eligible through the SEM program. There are some ineligible measures like fuel switching and behind the meter generation, which are not covered by the performance incentive. The second track for incentives through the SEM program is our enabling incentive. I'm going to talk to you in a minute about the SEM milestones, and as you achieve milestones, you can earn up to $5,000, and that money can be used toward the purchase of energy management tools. So let's say your energy champion would really love to have a clamp-on energy meter. You can use your enabling incentive toward the purchase of that device. It could even be things like sensors and data loggers, flow meters. There's a whole list of things that you can use your enabling incentive for, and that's $5,000 to spend as you wish. So I wanted to show this wheel of continuous improvement for strategic energy management. The value is really in improving the capability and capacity for energy management within your organization. And I do find that of the 150 participants that we're currently working with, most have come in at a different starting point. Some are already very advanced in their energy management journey, and some are just getting started and have never even done a retrofit project before, and that's okay. Everything is based on continuous improvement. We start with management commitment, looking for opportunities, measuring and reporting on performance, doing employee engagement, operational integration, and making not energy management's not just, the next chapter in the book, and rather it's really part of everything you do within your organization, and then go back to the planning stage. Excuse me. Okay, so I hinted at these milestones through the SEM program. This is a snapshot of what those SEM milestones look like. So whether or not you're taking advantage of the Energy Manager funding or being part of an SEM cohort, you are going to establish these milestones in your organization. And these are the heart of strategic energy management. They are the building blocks for your energy management program. You'll see that some of these are marked with money bag, and that's because of that enabling incentive that I talked about. The first 5 milestones are each worth $1,000 toward the purchase of energy management tools. The milestones that you see here, some of them are, you might say, I already have an energy team. Each one of these milestones has a deliverable. So if you already have an energy team, when you start out in the SEM program, we'll say, all right, let's put together an energy team charter. And that will have a commitment and a list of folks that are on your energy team with a sign off from the executive sponsor saying, we are committed. This is what our mission is. And these are the things we're working toward. There's other milestones on here that are activity-based. So an energy management assessment, for example, is an activity you will do with your coach and your broader team within your organization to understand the fundamental practices within your organization and how they relate to energy management. Excuse me for just so I won't go into each of these milestones, but you can see here that it's fairly comprehensive, and together these milestones are, again, the foundation of strategic energy management. This is a broader view of SEM. So I showed you the continuous improvement wheel, and I talked to you about the different ways that the SEM program supports organizations to implement SEM. I call this the learning lasagna because we really want to reinforce in as many ways as we can the deepening of these parts of SEM. And so we've got, like I said, those virtual workshops, cohort workshops. We've got coaching activities that are done with your team, including energy treasure hunts. Will come on site and do walkthroughs with your facility folks. We have asynchronous learning on our learning platform and other resources that you can access at your own opportunity, such as guides and tools. The next piece I'll talk about, and I mentioned it before, is a performance model. So some organizations do monitor and measure electricity. Most folks that we work with in the SEM program are fairly new to energy performance modeling. And so we will either take a model that they have created on their own or build a new model for you. And this will be used to measure and track energy performance through the 2 years of the SEM program. This is a service that is provided to you by our technical team, and it's based on electricity and other information that you provide to us, and we put the model together for you. We also hand that over and teach you how to use it so that you can maintain it yourself and continue to use it for tracking purposes and also for monitoring and targeting. Just a quick note on these additional activities. An energy scan, again, that's an on-site activity where we can come to your facility and help you identify energy saving opportunities. We do focus on low and no cost opportunities, and sometimes we find some capital measures as well. But the idea is to generate a long list of opportunities and help you prioritize them. I know Andrew at the top of this session had mentioned energy management assessments are offered through Innova, and I think that's more of a walkthrough of the facility in the SEM program. An EMA energy management assessment is a virtual session that we do. Your team will fill out a questionnaire on energy management best practices, and we evaluate how much is that ingrained in your organization now, and where are the biggest areas for improvement. We provide a report, which is essentially a roadmap to help you focus in on the areas that are going to have the most impact for you in the coming year. And from there, you'll make improvements in your management system that are targeted and meaningful to your organization. Here's that snapshot of milestones again, and I've highlighted this time that there's 3 milestones that often take a little more time to implement. We noticed that these 3 milestones have the slowest completion rate in the SEM program, and so through our own continuous improvement, we designed these in-person clinics that narrow in on really understanding what are the barriers to implementing energy policy, for example. Why are people not doing energy mapping? Well, it's a hard thing to figure out, and we've created a tool that will allow you to generate energy maps comprehensively for your facilities. And then metrics and goals is another one. Sometimes folks will say, yeah, we have a goal of 10% reduction in the next 5 years. But what we really try to do is break that down with data analysis and try to understand if those can be brought right to the departmental or equipment level. And we provide the tools for that as well. So these in-person clinics have been very popular. We go regionally, and we invite all our SEM participants to come out for those. The last piece I'll say about what's provided again is this just a reminder about the performance incentive and the enabling incentive. So here's the money that you can get to top up your energy management fund if you have one through the SEM program, and everything is based on a 12-month period for the performance incentive. So if you achieve savings in year 1 and they persist in year 2, you'll get paid again. And then with the enabling incentive, that's a $5,000 over the 2-year period. Sometimes I get the question, that's a lot that you're offering through the SEM program. How much does it cost to apply? Well, the answer is it costs your time. And here's a little overview of what that looks like. So for an executive sponsor, it's about an hour a month with cohort activities. The Energy Champion is maybe, closer to 2 or 2.5 hours per month. The Energy Team can also be involved in those cohort activities, but it's optional. And then you've got your own work within your organization to implement the various elements of energy management. And there's the snapshot of what that typically looks like for an individual.
Christy, real quick before you move on there about the energy assessment there, the EMA.
Sure.
Question here in the chat.
Yep.
Do the EMAs and maps and metrics apply only to electricity, or does it include gas and other fuels?
Oh, wonderful question. We all of our tools, because the expanded energy management program has a multi-fuel focus, all of these tools are designed to account for all fuels. So you have the opportunity to put your own data in. We've got it set up so you can put electricity data in, you can put natural gas data in, and you can put other fuels in. So if you're creating an energy map, it's all integrated so that you can look at it in different views. You can separate the different fuels. You can combine them as GHG. You can look at carbon emissions. For the energy management assessment, it's really looking at practices. So it's less about your energy data with the energy management assessment and more about what are your procurement practices? Is energy considered at the design stages of your projects? Do you have enough resources and support? What do your SOPs look like? How are your maintenance practices set up, and how is energy accounted for? So the EMA is much more about practices, but it's not, it feels agnostic. It's not focused specifically on electricity. With the energy scans, when we come to your site, we are looking for any and all opportunities, including electricity, natural gas, water, and any conservation opportunities that we spot. We are going to have your team capture those and help you prioritize them. Did that capture the question?
I believe so. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So the next, we were just talking about the commitment for individuals participating in the SEM program, and what we experience, that time spent participating in the SEM program has a very attractive payback because it helps organizations shorten the learning curve and avoid wasting time on ineffective approaches. We're really moving from ad hoc energy management to systematic approach, and it does pay off. Here's some facts and stats that we have. It's proven to be faster, with typical 6 to 10% reduction in electricity after 2 years in the SEM program. You can cut energy use up to 20% through low-cost opportunities, and you will have sustained energy reduction of 2.5 to 3.5% coming out of the SEM program, and potentially also ensure that any retrofit projects you're doing or other major investments you're making, that those energy savings are sustained for a longer time. So those are some of the real proven ways that SEM does work. I'm going to stop talking for a minute here. I'll leave this slide up, but maybe just think about if there's ways that you think SEM might help your own organization. And I'll pause for questions before I wrap up.
So, Christy,
Mm-hmm.
what would be the best steps to if we have customers wanting to join the SEM program? What's the best, easiest way of getting more information or signing up?
Absolutely. I'm going to just go to this last slide because this QR code will take you to a booking link where you can set up a 15-minute call with a coach like myself or someone on my team, and they will talk you through the application process. You can also go to the Save on Energy programs website, and if it's not already in the chat, I will drop that in as soon as I stop sharing my screen, where the application documents are there. You can download and submit them to sem@ieso.ca. You can also email that same email address with any questions that you have. And for commercial and institutional organizations, the program is open and taking applications. It's one application for the EM funding and SEM program. You can do both, or you can do either or. It's a choose your own adventure application, and it's all in one.
Perfect.
Mhm.
So I got one more question, but it's regarding the EMIS.
Sure.
Are there any timelines that projects have to be submitted by or incentive paid out by?
Um, yes, so I don't have an exact timeline to show you today, but because this is co-funded through Natural Resources Canada, the funding for the AMIS program ends March 2027. If I was doing a work back plan, I would say those projects should be finished, implemented this year, 2026, so that there's enough time to go through the post-project submission. Those EMIS applications, I'll drop a link to the application worksheet, but they actually go through the retrofit portal. So it's a little bit different than the EM and the SEM. If you were going to be investing in EMIS and putting a project application together, I would encourage looking at that now and thinking about having it implemented before the end of this year.
And with that, anything through the retrofit program, we're more than happy to help you with that incentive application. We'll be your applicant rep and upload that information for you. So then really you just have to hit the submit button. So if there's any interest in the EMS at your facility, reach out to us, I guess sooner than later, and we'll start that process for you. And I'll just add a comment about the SEM and the cohort approach. I think one of the benefits I've heard with having that cohort approach is learning from peers, right? From people that are in the same industry of you, and you know, bouncing off some ideas amongst your peers there is just as beneficial, I guess, as going through the coaching and the training.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. A few questions in the chat here that we kind of were replying over text here, but residential programs are not eligible there. And then again with educational institutions would be eligible. They just need to be able to hit a minimum consumption over a 12-month period. Uh,
Yep.
yeah.
We do work with, we've got more than one cohort that had post-secondary institutions as part of the SEM program, and we also have school boards participating. So they'll just put 5 of their largest schools or facilities together. And typically, I should say that for the SEM program, you don't have to meet the 6,500 megawatt hour threshold. I should have specified that earlier. For participating in the SEM program alone is 3,000 megawatt hours of annual consumption. So it's only that higher threshold if you're seeking energy manager funding. For SEM, it's 3,000 megawatt hours of annual consumption.
Okay. If there's no other questions, then I'd just like to say a big thank you to Christy for presenting today and letting us know more about the programs. I hope everyone found this insightful and valuable. And if there's any questions, follow up, I'll be sending this a follow up email later today with kind of a one pager on the SEM program that you can refer to. There's a QR code that you can scan the links that are provided in the chat. And feel free to continue this conversation after today. We're happy to have you engage with us. And with that, you now have 8 minutes left. Getting back to your day. Thanks all.